leave it for later, maybe for 5th pick if they want to go Valentina.
That's right. Okay, what do they pick up here? Maybe a... What's that sound? Oh,
a
Rupee.
rupee.
Okay.
That's
No hesitation whatsoever. Whoa, that's a
Wow.
very...
Okay. Okay. Well,
I did not know that's what Ruby sounded like.
yeah.
I heard it earlier, but I thought it was different. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Came a little loud on our
It
end.
was good. I removed my
Ooh.
headset
Do
earlier.
you, do you go Diggy if you're Echo?
That would be great, right?
And
Like,
then a very tanky EXP laner, someone like X-Borg actually, or maybe even Terizla, or Thams even. A hero. Actually, Blacklist likes to play Thams against these heroes. Okay, never
Yu Zhong.
mind. It's a Yu Zhong. Angela Claude.
So there's
What a classic.
what a classic, and there's still a dragon. You know,
There's
it's
still a
just picked
dragon.
up on the other side. So
Yep.
another signature pick, though. You know, for the most part, for Sanford here.
Yep.
What's the answer from Smart Omega?
Whew. I won't be surprised if this is somewhere along the lines of a Gusion or a Julian, perhaps.
let's go.
You need burst.
Wait, what? That's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah, because I mean, like, okay, so the easier options will be Aurora, perhaps, is there.
Yeah.
Easy to
Nana,
use.
Nana is like probably the choice here for Omega, but there I mean I want to pitch. I want to pitch Gusion or Julian because
Something
you
with
need
mobility.
something with a knock up or from Julian as well as burst. But okay, easy route.
I mean, she still has burst.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Nana's like the no, you don't need to think about it solution.
Yeah. I mean, like, why complicate things? This is MPL. Let's win games. You
That's
know.
why I was not expecting the Gushin Julian
Yeah.
thrown out. But, you know, I feel like either way, though, the Nana's going to struggle here. Even the carry to an extent. Because if you just look at the lineup from Echo, they can come from many different angles.
That's right.
And, you know, even when you're a Nana, like, yes, you have the passive, right? But if you drop your ult, then what are you doing? Like, you're just kind of on the run.
Yeah.
You know, with this, especially the lineup across from you, having a Claude to deal
Yeah.
with and everything. With a Heart Guard, like, it's a classic combo.
That's right.
So that is going to be tough here, I think, to pull off for Smart Omega, but we'll see if they can execute with the lineup that they have here. A lot of CC available to them, but they have to be able to pull it off against a very mobile lineup. So we jump in here to the Land of Dawn again for game number 2. Match point right now for Echo. Game 1 was very close if you missed it. So can Smart Omega extend the series to the 3 games? The first one it would be of today, as we are in the last series to round out week 1.
I mean, Omega did show earlier that they are very much willing to take many of these fights, even if some of those fights don't always look like they are the ones who are going to come out on top.
Yeah.
You have to admit that. You have to admire that for
Yes.
Omega. And I think that's some of the DNA that came over from the previous iteration of Omega. You know, it's like they're never say die attitude. And I love that it's still kind of there in the DNA. But it's always a question of whether or not it's the right thing to do in that certain situation, though.
Yeah,
So-
it's definitely, what do you call that? There's always those mission statements here.
Yeah,
the
the mission vision.
mission
The
vision.
mission vision is to always go for the fight.
That's the mission vision of Smart Omega, right? They
It
pass
seems
it
to be.
down. And the thing is, though, they're still essentially the way that they play it is kind of scrappy, but it's a little more refined right now, at least with this lineup. That familiarity they have with each other. Outplayed, though.
Yeah, they see they can capitalize on that familiarity here, but obviously the BMI battle mirror image still present here for Outplayed, and they just want to make sure that Echo is reminded of what they're capable of. That they've got that kill potential. If you blink, you'll miss it.
You'll miss it.
Speaking of which, will he blink? And I think he will not miss
wow.
it. Sanford goes down. For first blood here on the bottom side of the map, even with JP close by, no Heart Guard available. And to be fair, even if that had a Heart Guard, that might have not worked, or
Yeah.
that might have not been enough to save him.
There's a whole lot of damage right now, though. Matt's going to go ahead and start with the turtle. This could be very easy for them to take as he's working on it. Zyda, though, going to try to go in.
Yeah, I love what they're trying to do here, trying to see if they can put Zyda off balance. Oh my goodness, Louise, what a beautiful final slash. Remove the momentum from Zyda, denies the retribution.
Again, a great play there. Great just decisiveness from this lineup of Smart Omega right now. Yes, it's a small lead, about 1,000 ahead right now of Echo, but again, they're making things work here. And look at the gold difference in the gold lane.
That's gonna be massive. 400 in early stages. Sanford like going up against 2. Okay.
Yeah, they got mad. Sanford here got mad on the one side of the map. Says, you know what, you can't keep doing that to me. I'm gonna get a kill, maybe under my belt, but no. Yeah, of course, Omega survivability aspects, survivability, what do you call that, techniques, whatever. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Omega still wants to keep going, and Outplayed is the first victim there in that fight. Matt could still be in trouble here, but Sanji, look at him, doesn't have mana. Zyda, though, makes sure to clean it up.
Wow. Actually pretty good for Zyda. Pathing in the... But then again, Outplayed getting taken out up top is going to be bad for Echo. By the way, Brave Smite Claude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yes sir.
Fighter Claude.
Learning from Carry.
From the carry.
You know, how I wonder if we're going to see a different build path here at all, or just the normal, the typical, what we see from Claude. But I was surprised, too, even off cam, like Sanford went down, right? Now, I believe...
He had the heart guard.
Yeah, it almost looked like he would have got those kills down there, but like we said, the passive of this Nana helped out, and they kind of went with it. So right now, Smart Omega still with this little bit of lead that they have here. Echo looking to find what they can across the map. Now, big part of this, too, is allowing Outplayed to farm up what he needs to. Sanji as well needs the scaling. So, you know, in terms of damage department, they're not going to be there just yet.
Yeah. And I think for Omega, one thing that you have to really bank on is because of this lead that they have, they can use this so that they snowball. And that is actually what you do with the Martis, right? And you also have Arlott and Ruby. So much potential for that one because that combo is almost like a Fredrin plus the Arlott combo where you have unlimited dashes because of your unlimited crowd control.
And non-stop crowd control is something that they're trying to flex here. And Omega have been very much willing to take these fights. Here comes Sanford, though, flying with the Black Dragon form. That they have knocked up. Heart guards available as well.
Wow.
Sanford's looking like a beast here for Omega. So difficult for them to answer. Echo might not be done, will be forced to disengage.
It's a good thing with the Angela pick coming out from Echo. There's a lot of vehicles for that one. You have Zyda with the backshot, you have Sanford, and in the late game it should be Outplayed, who is outplaying West now. That duel up top, ooh, stuff of legends.
Love being JP
Sanji.
here.
Oh, Sanji's there too to help out with the sandwich play. West should be fine though. He's going to hold down his own. Meanwhile, Mark's going to make his way up here to the top now.
And that scary Rube that we're talking about here, getting some damage onto Sanji, but here comes JP discouraging more action from Omega.
Okay, so as we take a breather here, there's a lot happening. Smart Omega is still doing a great job at holding the little lead that they have together right now. As the game goes on forward, they're going to have to be able to contest the objectives, and they're putting themselves in a position to be able to do that, right? The fact, too, that they have West continuously just farming up, as long as he doesn't go down, can continue to build up, the rest of the team will help him kind of scale into that mid to late game here. Meanwhile, Echo's trying to do the same thing with Outplayed, right? We saw some action there, 1 versus 1 in the gold lane, but ultimately nothing able to happen for either of the gold laners just yet. So the main thing for Smart Omega is how do we play around JP having this Angela like we saw in the previous game, but this time it was in Smart Omega's hands. So they have to play around that, and that's why they're babysitting West so much here, right? They don't want him to go down.
And also that's the reason for Echo to kind of slow down in this game. Just, you know, look for those objective fights and just fight around those objectives. Don't do something extracurricular if you're Echo, because you don't have the luxury of that since you're playing JP in a support role. So this is technically a double support role. Come late game though, that is where Echo now really can be really strong because of the strength of the Claude Angela, and then you also have Novaria, right?
Yep.
So what I'm trying to say here is, Echo, they can play this long game for sure.
That's what they're going for right now. That was already a conceal being used by Smart Omega, looking to make a play in the bottom side. They're not going to find it though. Mark has the information he needs. Zyda's going to go ahead and take on this turtle. Dragon Form going to be popped. Looks like it might just go in the hands of Echo. They're going to be happy to give it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of surprise factor from Omega that they're not able to utilize just because Sanford is beating them to the punch.
And this is a 0-2 Yu Zhong, by the way.
Yeah, they're
That's how much trust Sanford has in his hero, and that's how much trust Echo has within their players, right? So this is a Yu Zhong that struggled in the early stages, but still does the job.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how strong of a dragon you have, it all depends on how you use it. And he's using it to a very, very optimal timing and optimal positions. Oh my goodness, Wes!
Wow,
He
the
ate all
flicker.
the bullets here coming in from the Claude. And he also used the flicker. But look at this, Zyda's in pretty much the middle of everything. And he has the hard guard, but I don't think he can survive it still. Now it's Outplayed who is taking a huge amount of damage from Omega.
Man, the power of those Brave Smites.
Yeah.
There's 3 over there for Smart Omega. Holding it together. I mean, Sanji's
Sanji.
trying to get the shots off, but he's not able to connect.
Matt
Tough
is
for
gonna
Echo.
find him.
Oh! Is it in range?
Oh.
Not really. Gonna go for over the wall.
Love waves, man. With the Flask of the Oasis, you saw how
Yeah.
much that can do. And this
Whole lot of
is
healing.
yeah.
Yeah, we're back up. That's something that healing is something that Omega now sorely misses, considering that only the Ruby has that lifesteal or that spell vamp. Compared to the last game, which is obviously it's a lot more deceptive.
That's right.
Now they also have to contest with Echo's hard guard.
Gonna be Omega very comfortable in this game. I think this is also their power spike, just like in the previous game. The fact that Matt only died once as the Martis makes them really strong in the upcoming Lord fight. And by the way, Matt waited for the Radiant Armor. There's a couple of Radiant Armors for Omega, which means that Echo will not be outputting as much damage in the mid stages. So this is great identification of strike from Echo. But they're not that prepared for Outplayed. Outplayed is actually not that far off of carry anymore.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Not only that, too, but we're going to see both teams kind of wait for these battle spells to be up a little bit longer for Sanji to have that Purify. Couple bit longer for the flickers to be available for Smart Omega. So no one going to commit just yet. They are going to get in position, though. Now the main question is, does Outplayed continue to stay top side, put some pressure? But it looks like he might make his way down here. It would be great if they're able to get that tier 1 down. Again, both teams, no turrets down just yet, which is quite odd. Oh,
Whoa! Full vision here of the Omega squad, and looks like that's going to be the go signal for Echo to go for it. Goes into West, has to use that flicker to get out of there. Here comes a re-engage coming in from Omega, looking
Comes
for
out
that
late.
right target. Matt is low. That's a Retribution holder going down if ever, and I think they might be able to make it, but Louise is going to be collateral damage here. They're diving it up, even under that turret. They do not care. Echo trying to layer their damage as much as possible. Louise is going to be going down. And there you go. That's a 1 for free in favor of Echo.
Woo! Look at that timing coming out from Echo against Sanford, the MVP. With a hard guard, zoning out the members of Omega. Zyda chasing Matt there. Had to use the Retribution, but it's okay. The fact that they took out Matt, that was already a great job from Echo. And then Outplayed with the timing to eventually take out the members of Omega with the damage output that we said that they're not prepared from. Because now you can see the 3-item power spike of the Claude.
yep.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Boom goes to Dynamite. He's got it right there, too. I guess the greatest thing there that happened for Smart Omega is West didn't go down. Right? He was even able to get a kill, capitalize on that, but they are going to lose quite a bit of space to work around here. Again, before that all broke out, neither team had any turrets down, so now Echo playing around this Lord take. They're going to get the space advantage to work around with. And it's up to Smart Omega to deal with it, right? And 3.4K behind. It is going to be a little tough on how they deal with this. They have to find their own wins in terms of the team fight approaching this top side of their base while Echo takes things on the bottom.
It's Outplayed time now. The power spike, the late game that we're looking at. Well, it's not yet late game, but the 3-item power spike for the Claude is super duper important. I would say that Omega is not, it's not out of the game yet. I think they're still pretty strong at this point in the game, but they just have to find an opening.
Yeah, looking for that opening is proving to be very tricky with a very tight Echo lineup that they're showing right now. I think even Sanji is so happy or just very freely just walking up on front
Oh,
and just calculating that beautiful movement.
Mark wanted that, right? I mean, he wanted to go and get that I'm offended off, but not able to get it. They hold on, though. I mean, they lose some turrets, sure, but Smart Omega, even the fact, too, that Wind of Nature was picked up by West, if they somehow get the advantage, right, against Echo, given this 4.4K lead, I still think Smart Omega has a fighting chance, against this, especially if they can get the right targets picked off here. Yeah, they got to work through these couple of Purifies, though. That might be the biggest challenge for them, especially if they can get outplayed out of the picture here. But right now, Echo obviously in control. They're going to go ahead and kind of settle down just a little bit before we're about 40 seconds away from this Lord. That'll be a big test for Smart Omega coming up for them if they actually want to contest that and deal with it. Now Sanji's cut, his job is cut out for him. He has to whittle them down if he can. But right now, Smart Omega doing a pretty good job so far.
But defensive items now coming up for Omega. With the fact that they have completed those items, it's go time now for Omega. Really to fight. But the fact that Sanji is this confident up against some artists, that's quite concerning. Now, Matt, the helmet. They definitely need to go now for Omega. They've picked it up, and now they've heard me.
Going for it.
Here comes the conceal. He already activated everything on the side. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink straight onto the Baksha, and they get their target. Here comes the re-engage though. Sanford alongside the Heart Guard. They are showing who's boss. They're whittling down the Omega lineup. Oh, West is slowed by Lois as well. That was a very, very early recall here. He's going to get punished for it. And Luis could go down as well, using a flicker to get away.
Whew. And that was a very much understandable clash from Omega. Even I said that they should go, and they did. That was the right timing.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario. But Sanford was just in the right spot, right time. Again, paving the way for Outplay. It seems like Sanford is laying the carpet, and Outplay just gets into position at the right moment. I like the decision coming from JP, though, to go for Sanford instead of trying to save Zyda.
Yeah.
Zyda's MO back then was, okay, I'll just survive maybe a second more or 2 seconds more, allow Sanford to be there, Heart Guard intact. Sanford nails the Petrify, the combo against the members of Omega, and then it was already the problem for Omega in the end.
Well, right now, their problem is going to be dealing with this Lord. Full force of Echo, running it down mid, Lord on the top side. Smart Omega trying to defend their base, trying to hold on to these base turrets if they can. Again, expect some pressure even against these walls from Echo. Ooh, and the shots from Sanji showing as well. They drop down the vision. The turret's going to fall on the top side. And Sanji will plant himself on that side of the map. They go in.
Here comes the collapse coming in from Echo. West is the target. Matt's up on front. Lewis ready with a final slash. And they're trying to whittle down that Lord as much as they can. They're waiting and clearing for these minions. And that might be a successful defense here from Omega. But can they take more?
Still a Nana. Great at defense.
Great at defense. The lineup that Smart Omega has can actually defend quite well. Even longer. Like, yeah, they lost the 2 base turrets, but if they find themselves in a position again where they're defending against a Lord push, they have actually great tools to deal with it. So it's up to Echo, even with a 9K gold lead, to deal with this. The biggest thing, too, is if they somehow get West out of the picture, that'll cap it off for them to end the series here. So West has to be able to stay alive. His positioning is going to be crucial. We saw it earlier. Sanji planting himself on that outer edge of the base, just forcing the pressure with those shots.
Yeah, man. I mean,
that is tough to deal with.
This is basically a big test for West and making sure he's a cut above the rest.
I like it.
Like, respecting the spike of Omega, but at the same time, they know that it is now their timing. This is their window. Echo have reached critical mass. Even Sanji packs up a punch now with 0-0 and 7 on this Novaria, up with the full pack basically. three ones. You have the Lightning Truncheon, Glowing Wand, I think Divine Glaive as well. Then eventually the Ice Queen Wand, which is gonna be a problem when it comes to how you deal with it as Omega, because you get slowed down so badly
Yeah.
just because of that meteor, right? The Astral Meteor is enough.
You can
actually.
have all the magic defense you want. You're still gonna get slowed.
Exactly, exactly.
I would say that, honestly, for Smart Omega, they have two options, right? It's either Marked or Luis to get a playoff, whether that's utilizing the flicker or not. There's a conceal, though.
Here's a
from Mark.
conceal, and they're spotted. And there comes the knockup as well. Hugesis coming in from the Lord, and Mark
West.
is going to be falling, just like you mentioned, and West cannot position himself correctly. That's 2 down for Omega, and this is going to be problematic, to say the least.
He's trying to hold it together. Sanford takes a couple shots. He's still got the immortality, though.
Minion's still here. That's one tank, making it possible for Echo to maybe end it right here on the mid. And I think with just the right movements, they will.
The Echo Express comes out with a sweep to end week number 1. And there you go. The cheering crowd is here as well, the drums. And Echo comes out swinging.
Wow. This is, man, look at them. I love this, the proud faces
the proud
from
face.
Carl TZ and Benny Cutie. They look so proud.
Yeah.
I love that.
At a certain point, Sanji was auto-attacking his opponent. That's how confident he was. I mean, like, typically the Fire just gotta be sitting back, launching all of those Astral Spheres. But he was auto-attacking his opponent from a relatively long distance. That's how confident they are. But man, Echo just really off of Sanford as well as JP. It's particularly Sanford. I think that Sanford saved this game so much, and I'm saying that because he started 0-2.
Yeah.
I'm just still in disbelief how impactful Sanford could be, just because of how